Hello and welcome to my video log. Today I'm talking about Gadget magpies, retrieving the simple joy of tech, in this instance with the M5 Cardputer. So it's a little bit bigger than a credit card. It's got a TFT display, a full keyboard, microphone, speaker, IR blaster, custom sensor you can attach to it, micro SD slots, integrated battery. It's magnetic. I don't know if you heard that, but I can stick it to stuff. It's basically a dev kit for the Stamp S3 development board. Which itself is the dev board for the ESP32SS3 microcontroller. So there's the little S3 dev board in the corner here. And I do have a point with why I'm talking about this, not specifically about this thing, but I'll get to it. So it's an absolute bargain. I paid like $32.80 for this thing a couple of months back. They're currently going for about 36 quid. And you can install stuff on it. So this is the M5 burner software, and you can install all kinds of custom firmwares. And the firmware, because it's microcontroller based, it's not got an operating system per se, although you can sort of simulate one. You can just black firmware onto him. And there's hundreds of these things. There's security tools. You can use this thing to fake Wi-Fi. You could do unscrupulous things with that, which I don't encourage. You can put little piano apps, games, Wi-Fi analyzers, GPS tools, software-defined radio, little Tamagotchi pet. And there's even, you burn it. So you write it, and it sort of like flashes the memory, and then you've got your software in there. So you can even run Doom, which runs remarkably well, albeit very, very fiddly, as you'd imagine, for something where the screen's about the size of my first finger joint. And this is really cool, but you can only have one firmware on at a time, which is all right if you just got this as a single-purpose device. But there is an SD card slot, so what you can do is install M5 Launcher, and then you can launch any of these images on it. So it sort of comes up at boot, and then it's like, okay, what image do you want? And you can even choose over Wi-Fi, so you can download images over Wi-Fi, put different software on and play around with it. So yeah, pretty cool. But so I bought a cool thing. So what? I bought a toy and I played with it for a bit. One of the issues that we've got as tech people is that we see something cool and we buy it, like a Flipper Zero, or Wi-Fi light bulb, Raspberry Pi Arduino, FPGA, sensor array, software-defined radio, whatever your widget or whatchamacallit or who's or what's it is. And I think of that as the magpie problem, is we see this thing and we're like, oh, that's cool, I'll buy it. And then what do you do with it? Like, is it just going to be e-waste? So I thought, right, I need to solve an actual problem with this thing. I'm not just going to buy it because it wasn't super expensive and I was interested and curious. So one of the big problems in any family, I expect, is the loss of the TV remote. So in our family, you lose the TV remote regularly, and then you reach around the back to try to switch between the PlayStation and the Xbox or whatever, and you press the wrong button, it goes onto terrestrial TV. You'll never get it back. You've got to throw the TV in a skip and buy a new one. I just don't know how to get back out of that without the remote. So yeah, it's a real problem. So I decided to write some software for it. So I started out something I knew, Arduino IDE. I've written a fair bit of stuff on Arduino, and this IDE has a way of writing to these little S3 based things. So I slogged with it for hours, but I could not get it to work. I could install software, but every time I tried to use the IR, the thing crashed. This little thing crashed, and I could not figure out. I ended up not using the IR drivers, writing my own stuff, but I just wasn't having a good experience. It was really slow. I don't know, I was probably doing something wrong. But I took a weird approach and I abandoned the IDE, even though it was the software that wasn't working. I thought, well, I'll try another platform. So I tried VS Code with Platform.io and I had a much better experience. It's much more stable. So this is some of the code. It's not very long. It's about like 70 lines of C++. And it's just a very simple TV remote, which you can see here, it works. So what I've got there is my little component tester for when on my personal channel I'm building effects pedals or whatever, and I test my components, or I'm trying to repair some old Mega Drive or what have you. So excuse me, just knocked something on my audio interface. So that is now sending the correct codes, because what I did is I used this little box, pointed my remote control at it, pressed the buttons, and sort of recorded what the codes were. Now, the bit order was different, so I had to do some messing about with the byte order. But eventually, I got these 4 inputs working, and yeah, that's all I really need is power, input, and volume up and down. Great. But what's my point here? Well, what I'm primarily interested in isn't specifically the M5 Cardputer and making a TV remote. That's cool and everything, but a lot of my videos recently have been about AI and its kind of massive impacts on the software industry. And here's part of a comment on my latest video, Wizards versus Wordsmiths, from Rodri. He says, I go through the same roller coaster, referring to like the emotional impacts of just seeing the skills you've taken decades to build up and now, can be sort of automated to an extent. And it seems like a lot of coders are experiencing one day thinking it's the end of our profession, then 10 minutes later want to throw it in the bin because it's rubbish. What a ride. And there's a kind of fatigue with that. Like day after day, you're like, oh, am I going to have a gig in a year? Like, what do I have to do? What training should I do? What should I invest my time in? Like, what kind of engineer should I be? How should I think? I've got a mortgage. I've got children. I do think like that. I have a tendency to catastrophize. But what I've found is like these little tinkerer projects, they sort of reset me. I rediscover the simple joy of being a 4-year-old sat on my dad's lap hacking away on the BBC Micro. It's the simple joy of doing projects, of accomplishing something, it's not a big thing with a lot riding on it. It's not professional. No one's paying me to do this. It's just fun. And it's the same when I make little games and when I work with my kids on their Scratch projects, or we do work on the Kubernetes cluster. And it's refreshing. It like brings me back to, oh yeah, I like solving problems. And then I go back and I just feel a bit calmer from sometimes feeling a bit overwhelmed by the pace of the industry at the moment, and the pace of change. It's always been quick. I've been in this game for I'm a third decade now of doing this, and the pace has never been this fast, surely, even with the effect of aging and everything seeming faster. But yeah, it's absolutely nuts. And this just helps me just go, oh yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed that. And then, you feel a bit refreshed. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you found it interesting. Feel free to look around at other videos on the channel. Subscribe if you feel so compelled. And thank you very much.